All right, guys, so this is a big video. I'm going to talk about some things, but before I get into that, check out my sponsor, Barbell Apparel. Lifetime guarantee on everything. So if anything ever rips or whatever, you can send it back. Lifetime guarantee, free replacement. Check it out. They support me. It'll help me out. Now, as far as today's video, what I want to talk about is what's next. What are the next upcoming goals for the remainder of the year? And just kind of get into that. So I'm going to get right down to it. We are 14 weeks out now from the Bighorn 100-mile run in the mountains of Wyoming. And I just ran a marathon. So I just ran the second marathon that I've ever done. I'm going to pull up the stats here. I did a marathon when I was 15 years old. I was 145 pounds in that marathon. And I ran in 4 hours, 24 minutes, and 34 seconds. So I weighed roughly 60 pounds less than now and ran in 4 hours and change. That marathon was the Madison Marathon in 2007. It had about 740 feet of elevation gain. And now let's fast forward to the other day. This was on Friday, guys. This is the longest run I've done in 17 years. I'm 32 years old now. That marathon was when I was 15. Friday, I did 26.2. I did a marathon on the trails around here in 4 hours, 23 minutes and change. So faster than when I was 15 and weighed 60 pounds less. I'm 201 right now, 201 pounds body weight. And this one had 3,400 feet of elevation gain, which you may not understand what that means, but that's a lot of elevation gain. That's almost 5 times more elevation gain than the race I did when I was 15. So it was way, way harder course. And I did it faster while weighing 60 pounds more. So that kind of shows what kind of shape I'm in right now in preparation for this 100-miler where, you know, the 100-miler is going to have 18,500 feet of elevation gain. So I'm trying to do as much as I can to just hammer away at the hills. Fortunately, East Tennessee is pretty hilly, so I have that to my advantage. It's not the mountains, but I can still replicate a lot of it with, there's tons of major hills around here, tons of monster hills. And this last week, I did the most miles I've ever ran in a week. It was just over 70 miles total, which I think I will peak around like 85 miles will be my highest week of mileage. And the longest run I'm going to do in training will be like a 50-miler. So we're getting down there. We're getting down there where training's really ramping up. My strength is dropping off quick. There's no doubt about it. Week to week, I feel like strength goes down a little more. I'm getting leaner week to week. Like my neck hasn't been this small. My neck hasn't been this small in a million years. Like my neck has shrunk a lot because I'm leaning out so much. But I'm still at 201 pounds body weight, holding decent strength, albeit it's going down, like I said. And I'm going all in on this goal. You know, if you're chasing after a goal, the way to do it, you got to go all in. You got to give it everything you have. You don't, I don't want to show up to the starting line being like, oh, I could have trained harder. I could have done more. I feel unprepared. Like, I don't want to have that feeling at all. I want to know I put the work in, went all in training, and gave it everything I have. And, you know, like yesterday, this was the day after the marathon. I did a 15-mile run, and it was pouring rain the entire time. It was just over 2 hours, pouring rain the entire time, miserable. But you almost had to laugh because it was incessant. I was completely soaked. And I just soaked it all in, literally and figuratively, because it was just, what more can you do? So 41 miles in the last 2 days, but that's the kind of thing it's going to take to do this. This is the biggest challenge of my life. You know, it really is. So I have to invest 100%. Now, lifting to an extent has had to be put on the back burner as far as the intensity, the volume, and how strong I can push right now with this in mind, because this goal is going to take that much work. So June 14th, you know, until then, I've got to be hammering away at this. But I was thinking about this, and I was thinking, like, afterward, you know, I really do want to return to my roots and hit the weights hard again, like, no doubt about it. I miss the heavy weights. So I am going to go way more full throttle personally into the heavy weights because that's what I enjoy. Like, running is, it's a challenge. It can be enjoyable at times, but it's not as enjoyable as hammering away at like a heavy deadlift or bench. And obviously the running training is much tougher, to be honest. It's way more exhaustive. There's way more time consuming. I mean, I ran like 11 hours this last week, So just the amount of mileage, the day in and day out grind is much tougher, and it's not something I feel like I would want to sustain or could sustain long term, because it's just such an investment. Whereas lifting is much less so. It's just lifting is more about continually chipping away at it consistently over time, and it's a lot more fun, quite simply. So I want to get back to that and, you know, push for getting back into the 700s on deadlift and making a run at 750, even 727. That's, you know, 330 kilos. I would be over the moon to get back to that. And then I want to get back around a 400 bench. So those are really going to be the focus after this race. I'm going to be able to get back into prioritizing lifting to a much greater extent, kind of put running more on the back burner. And I still will probably run maybe 2 days a week to maintain some fitness. Maybe like one speed day and one semi-long day, like 10 miles. But it's going to be way less than it is now. So the total time investment will go from, you know, 10, 11, 12 hours down to 2.5. So I'll still try to maintain some cardio, maintain some shape, but I'm sure I'll pack some weight back on and my strength will blow up again, with lifting being a much higher priority. So that's kind of where I want to take things after this, because I feel like you need to be well-rounded as a man. I hope that, you know, you guys see in me and it rubs off on you that I'm a man of God. Like, I try to live to a certain standard. And I try to exemplify what I think is the right way to live. So I hope you guys see that. And I feel that we need to be strong. We need to be physically strong. We need to be capable. So I feel like I can't completely give up the cardio gains I've accrued and just drop running, because I feel like being in shape to be able to cover distance and be healthy is still good, but it's going to be much less of priority, because I also feel that physical strength is something you need, something that is useful, productive, good for society, good for just being a provider, being a leader, being a man. So physical strength is heavily prioritized, and it's going to continue to be. So I want to have a balance as far as all that goes. That's just two of the things I feel as a husband, as a father. It's good to have that balance, but I want to definitely get my strength back up, because the level it's at now for me to sustain long term is unacceptable, in my opinion. I don't want to be at this strength level long term. It's something I have to sacrifice to an extent with this high volume of running to accomplish this goal and do it to the best of my ability. Because I'm not trying to show up to the race, to Bighorn in Wyoming, and just finish. Like, I'm not. Like, finishing is the number one priority, yes. But I want to do well. I want to do as well as I possibly can, knowing I put the work in to do as well as I possibly can. So that results in sacrificing some strength and body weight. But I definitely want to prioritize those things once this is over, and that's the direction I'm going. So the powerlifting days are far from done. I am going to come after it hard after this race. And it will be nice to relax a little bit mentally, where I don't have to go out for these literal marathon session runs and hammer it out like that. It's exhausting. It's exhausting physically, mentally. It's pushing me to my limits. Like, it really is. It's pushed me to a level I haven't been in a very long time. So it's going to take everything I've got, and I've got to buckle down for 14 more weeks, and that's the plan. So I just kind of wanted to update you guys on what's going on with that, where things are at. I appreciate the support, by the way. You know, I'm still coaching guys. I have so many guys coming up here who are going to compete in the next couple months, and they are all crushing it. That's been insane to see. Like, it's kind of cool, because I don't necessarily have to get as strong as possible in my own mind to be happy and fulfilled in that regard, but seeing my guys get stronger and just absolutely crushing their training at a degree I've never seen before. I've been coaching for 11 years now, and it's just the success now with the guys I'm coaching has been incredible. So that's been fun to see, and it's been very fulfilling and rewarding, and it's kind of nice. It really is. It's just, I could name so many guys. There's too many guys to name, but I know you guys are watching, and I'm really proud of all of you. Just keep up the good work. So that's kind of an update on the video. Thanks, guys, for the support and comments and just subscribing to the channel and everything. And I'll keep the videos coming. I appreciate you all, and God bless.